Hey, ooh, wait, let's go.
Let's go. Here
Come
we
on.
go.
Hey, everyone. Come on in. I have a special guest. Hold on. We have a special guest today. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Come on in. My beau is here.
Hey.
Yes, he is here for the
Hello,
very first.
everyone.
Tell them, who are you?
I'm Joaquin Walters, by way of New York, but now here in the DMV area.
Yes,
And,
what part of New York? Because we're from New York. Hey, Machine, I see you, Machine. What part of New York?
Well, born and raised in the Bronx.
You gonna say Brooklyn?
'Cause that's what I'm trying to give you some props.
Okay.
But originally from Far Rockaway.
Yeah, Far Rockaway,
Far Rock in
Queens.
the house.
Far Rockaway, Queens. Come on now. Let's go. Those who know me, I'm from BK all the way, Brooklyn. And, I asked them to be on the live with me because people have been DMing me. Is that a word? Okay. DMing me. Saying congratulations, you're in a relationship and all this other stuff. And I say, fantastic, right? I say, thank you so very much. But I wanted to get on a live and talk about this guy, but talk about particularly dating, right? Because oftentimes we are, especially people who have been divorced, okay? And if you have never been married, the goal is really to find the person that is your person, right? Your person. And I'm going to speak it into existence that he truly is my person, right? And so we're going on 6 months of dating.
Yep.
6 months. And it's been really good.
Seemed longer though.
It seemed longer,
Yeah,
right?
it definitely has.
Okay, isn't he cute, right? Isn't he cute?
I'm alright.
He's alright. All right. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? We want to have some candid conversation about how do you start dating after divorce one, or how do you start just dating, right? Because it's hard out here in these streets.
Yeah.
It's hard out here in these streets.
Definitely is.
And so, look, I've been divorced going on 11 years, almost 11 years. And you've been divorced for how long?
About the same.
About the same.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we got divorced at the same time 11 years ago, like the same year. And so this is where this whole, is this person for you? And all the stars aligned. And let's talk about how hard it is sometimes to meet someone that you meet. And go in the comments. I want to hear some questions, right? Go in the comments. I want to hear some questions. What is that? You what's that look? What's that emoji? I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what that emoji means. But okay, so let's talk about how difficult it is, coming out of divorce and dating, right? So I want to hear from you, Joaquin. Okay, so talk about it. What has been one of the toughest things during this dating process, right? Prior to meeting me, because I'm easy. Not easy in the way that you think, but easy in the way that, what has been difficult for you when you out there as a man? Because we often talk about the women who are dating and how often that can be difficult, but is it difficult for men?
Yeah, I mean, because you have to be able to trust somebody out there. Just like women. You have to
speak up. So
I'm sorry. You have to be
He's
able
a little
to,
shy.
Yeah, you have to be able to trust, someone, and that's hard to do. You hope you meet someone out there that they check off all the boxes. You guys have a lot in common.
Yes.
And first and foremost, this is men and women do the same thing. You meet the sales rep.
Right. Okay. So even with women, you're saying that you meet the representative. So it's not only men who show up in their representative, it's women that show up in their representative.
Yeah.
And that has happened to you.
Yeah. It's happened. And, when you meet someone, they come off in, originally a certain way, and then you after a little bit of time, you'll be like, okay, here's the real person.
How old is your boyfriend? Okay, well, take a lucky guess.
Yeah, take a guess.
Take a guess. Take a guess. All right, take a guess. I mean, put the numbers in there. And how old do you think I am? I don't know. Put the number in there and see, right? So as we wait for your response, but you're saying that how you just really, for you, it's like you often think that, okay, oh, babe,
35.
35.
Wow.
How old do you think I am?
35. Thank you. Thank you.
I know how old you are. How you know? Oh, Rashid, you know how old I am. Don't tell him, Rashid.
Wow, 35.
Rashid and I went to high school together. That's
okay.
That's awesome.
Okay.
But the person that asked and the person that commented said he's 35, right? So, you know, so it said, Rashid said, you know how old I am because you're about the same age. I think you're older than me. But anyways, no, he's not 35. But how old do you think I am? Okay. So as we wait for your response, about how old you think I am, and do you think I'm robbing the cradle, or do you think that he's robbing the cradle? I don't know. Okay. So with that said, okay, I say the good brother. I'll say the good brother's about 48.
Wow. Thank you. It's a good audience right here. Let me tell you, they're all right. 48, but thank you.
Because he
a little older than that.
Now, baby, it's about you, because he looks so super young. People think I'm robbing the cradle, right? They're like, girl, you a cougar. You a cougar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But you'll find out his age towards the tail end. But we digressing. We're digressing. We're really talking about some good stuff because. So you said, because it's always good to hear a different perspective about when it comes to men versus women and the dating and things of that nature. So you're saying it's just as hard as it is for women.
Absolutely.
Because people often think that just because men have their share, like there's so many women to choose from, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to find someone that you can actually wife, you know, like say this is my wifey, or this is someone that you want to marry. Again, you know, if that's what you choose to. But like I said, it's hard out there, you know, and it definitely takes time because it's not something you want to rush into. So you have to take your time.
Yes.
Which I did. And,
yes.
And then you find that special person eventually.
Okay.
You know, so you have to be open.
You have to be open,
yep.
Right? Okay.
And there's a lot of things you have to like even dig in within yourself.
Okay, so you know that you have to know what you want, because oftentimes there are men who don't really know what they want.
I mean, you know,
right?
I mean, I think there's men out there that know what they want, and then there's men out there that know what they want, but you know, want the cake and eat it too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not I'm not bashing my brothers now, but I mean, me being a man, I'm being around my friends and other men. You know, I mean, you just gotta be open.
Okay, so my brother Rashid, I agree. Most people don't know that you have to I agree. Most people don't know that you have to marry the person of today and who they will be, who they will become. Right? So you marry the person that you are with today, and then and with the hope that they'll become what you imagine. I guess that's what you're saying, Rashid, right? You want to marry that person. And we're not at the I don't think we're at the stage of marriage, but it wouldn't be, it would take long. I mean, for all the women who are above the age of 40, if you're with a guy for 11 years and there's no like thought or talk about marriage, you need to cut it off. Because how long does it take for a man to make a decision on whether this girl is a girl that he wants to wife? Like he said, wifey.
I mean, you can't really put a timetable on anything because, some people say that they found their love at first sight. Some people have.
But no, let's talk about you. We're not talking about, come on now.
I mean,
they don't want to know about all the statistics. Let's talk about you. Like, how do you, for me, do you know, like the first month, is this a girl that you could potentially really have a long-term relationship with? Like marriage?
I mean, marriage, just like I said, that still takes time. But as far as like a long-term relationship, you know if someone has potential.
You
know?
do. How long does it take for you to know that?
I mean,
for you.
But everybody's different.
No, we're not
no, I'm even talking about me. I'm just saying
Okay.
everybody you come to in life, you know, it will give you a different experience. You know, some people will take longer to show you who they are.
Oh, okay.
And then some people will show you who they are from the jump.
Okay.
You know, so like to put a timetable on how long it would take me.
Let me say this. Okay, he's he's trying to be so modest about it and PC, really. But I believe that you know within the first 30 days if this is a girl that
you could say that. Like, you know, the first, you know, like you said, 30 days. That's fair. You know, the first 30 days, you can get a feel of who you're with, who you're spending time with, who you're talking to.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. But as far as like marriage, I mean, you don't know. You got to give that some time.
Okay,
so that's going to take.
So what? A year?
You can't put a time on it.
Oh my gosh!
She's trying to lock me into a year. You know, no more than a year, right?
Look, after being divorced, I am not in a rush to be married. For sure. I'm not in a rush to be married. Why? Because you don't want to do it a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth time, right? You don't want to get married and divorced again that quickly, right? And put it in the comments, right? You don't want to, right? What is that? Okay, so I'm gonna read what you wrote. Okay, Shonda said, I've never been married, but I'll have to say I've seen marriages last longer than the second time around who have been married before. I'll never be in a relationship over 5 to 10 years, still not married.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I get that.
Very good, Shanda. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You shouldn't be in a relationship that long especially if you're over the age of 35. Like, it shouldn't take that long for a guy to decide if this is a person that they want to be with, right?
Yeah, you know a lot sooner than that. You know, 5, 10 years. I mean, even like you said, a year, 2 years. I mean, you know, but 5, 10 years, that's, you know, somebody gotta make up their mind.
Somebody gotta make up their mind. Right. But okay, here's the secret. Rashid has been married for, I think, 20 years, Rashid. What you say, ask a person in particular, man, what is the vision and mission for their life? For a woman, do you see yourself growing in this man's vision? But why does it have to be his vision? What about my vision?
What's that, 10? What's that, 19?
Okay, 19. So he's about 19 because I remember Rashid, when he got married, right? I remember that. Right. Rashid, I've known him for over 30 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, but basically he's saying that you need to ask the person, I guess vice versa, check this out, what's your vision and like what do you see, where do you see yourself like 5, 10 years from now? Right. And then the woman has to have the same vision, right?
True.
And then the person on the opposite side should say, well, I see myself in their life. Right?
Right. I agree with that.
So you have to be thank you, Rashid. That's great advice. Yeah. You have to be in a place where you really see yourself in the person's life 5 to 10 years. Now, if they say, I want to backpack around Europe and I want to go to Africa and I don't want a house, I want to just backpack it around the world. Do you see yourself in that house? Or not in that, there's no house, right? Do you see yourself backpacking? You probably not. You may, if that's you and you say, nah, that's not me, then you need to bow out. But if you say, yep, that's me, I can see myself doing that, then of course. But I agree with Shanda about, second time around is because you should know what you don't want and you should know what you want.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, for me, and so dating, when you're going into divorce, I've dated, been divorced for 11 years. And you have,
yep.
And so do you serial date former?
That's
did you
before?
Yeah, before.
I no longer. No, and I have.
I was
excuse me.
No, you're fine. Okay.
Yeah. Quite naturally after my divorce. Because I was married 28 years.
So you telling them your age?
Oh yeah,
you said
I sure
that.
did it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But after divorce, of life being committed, after time of healing and and finding yourself or what have you, you go out, and you date, because that's the only way you're going to meet people and see if anybody has anything in common.
Oh,
So,
you know what? You said something. You said we're gonna fix your shirt because I'm all about making sure. Okay, okay, right. He said you have to heal, and that is a big thing because oftentimes people do not heal. They go from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and they're looking for love in all the wrong places, as opposed to turning it inside. I know I had to heal after marriage, after divorce. I really had to heal. And I didn't want to make the same mistakes, because even during my dating process, I really found myself doing some of the same things that I did in my divorce. And so I had to make a decision that I wasn't going to date at all for a good year and some, to heal and reflect so I don't make the same mistake. And that's how I met you, right? Because I literally spent time, because I kept meeting the same kinds of guys. And I said I had to spend time within myself and talk about and write about and visualize what I wanted. How did you do it?
Right, same way. You have to visualize. We always use that example of people checking off boxes. There's nobody perfect. There's no one perfect. But if someone can, because I'm not perfect, but as long as someone can meet some of the criteria that you expect, characteristics, personality or what have you.
What are your non-negotiables?
Non-negotiable. You can't be a smoker.
Oh, you can't be a smoker. You mean like smoke marijuana or smoke a cigarette?
Let's talk about the cigarettes right now. I don't partake in any kind of it, but as far as like cigarette smoke, can't be a smoker.
Can't be a smoker. That's a big one. Okay, agree. You say you agree. Me neither.
Non-negotiable.
I can't. We as women are emotionally driven. Shanda says, she says, but I think most men don't have the emotional capacity to handle us. This is why I pay attention to how men handle situations. That's very good. But I think that men are more emotional than women. I think men are more sensitive than women. They just don't have a tolerance to deal with a lot. Like, we deal with more. Our bandwidth is longer and heavier, and deeper. Men, they're very sensitive. So you do them wrong, they just. Well, what's your thought about it?
I don't think it's like a sensitive thing.
Okay.
Because I use me as an example.
Okay.
You just don't have time.
Speak up,
drama.
babe.
A lot of times you don't have time for drama. You don't want to deal with the, all that extra, just like I said, drama. And you just don't want to deal with. You don't have the time for it. A lot of times you just want to deal with a situation. Come to agreement and move forward.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just not like, and it's not about being emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just think it's more just like, okay, it's not that I don't care.
Okay.
It's just that, look, let's come to this agreement, this understanding, and let's move on.
Let's just move on. Okay, so you straight to the point. Now, I think some men are emotionally intelligent. I think there are a lot of men who are emotionally intelligent. Like, they know how to handle their feelings. They know how to handle difficult situations. And I often say that the greatest leaders are those who have emotional intelligence. They know how to handle situations according to. But
the greatest leaders are good listeners too.
Greatest leaders are great listeners, right? Absolutely, absolutely. So, but I also believe that they truly have emotional intelligence, and so knowing how to handle difficult things when they arise, right?
Yeah,
so we as women are emotional. I see the brother just gave an example of that. Okay, I see the brother just gave an example of that. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, Rashid, but absolutely. But you were saying along the lines of men not being sensitive. You don't think men are sensitive?
Yeah,
just because the word has a negative connotation.
Yeah, just like I said, as far as like sensitive, just like most of the time we're just like straight, frank, and point blank, straight as a matter of fact, and it's not a sensitive thing.
I think that men are more sensitive than women. They get offended a lot faster. That's what sensitivity means. They get offended a lot faster. Their ego is bruised. faster.
No.
You don't think so? Okay. we agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, his example of how he would handle that particular situation was an example of, okay, emotional intelligence.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Right. Oh, he's emotionally intelligent, actually. He's definitely emotionally intelligent. He knows how to handle different situations. And let me say this. It takes I'm a big personality. Am I a big personality, man?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big personality, but the thing is that he's secure in his manhood to let me shine, and then and just do and not think that I'm taking light from him, right? Because some men, I find, when I was dating, I found that some men would be so like intimidated by my bigness that they would want to bring me down and take my shine, like bring my shine down. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, just like you said, how, me being with you, I'm very secure, and very supportive of what she does. So I mean, with that, there's no insecurity, and you have to be, like you said, confident. You have to be confident with yourself. And there's nothing that she does intimidates me, because I feel I'm a big personality. Maybe not on the screen, but I'm a big personality off the screen.
Yes, he is.
But with that, this is my lady. This is my woman.
Woo!
So seeing her shine, it's a great thing. And vice versa, when she sees me shining in my element, it's the support there. So it's all about the support. Who's shining the most at a specific time. That doesn't even matter. Because y'all shining together. If she's shining, we shining. If I'm shining, we shining.
Oh, you heard what this brother said? He said, if I'm shining, he's shining. If he's shining, I'm shining.
So we shining, regardless.
We shining. Let me say this, and that's the reason why I brought him on this, because he has so much like words of wisdom, and he's a lyricist, right? Like back in the day, he would rap
well, it couldn't have been that good because I don't have no albums out. Didn't have any, but
but he can freestyle rap, right?
Yeah,
right. But the thing is, he's definitely, and he's authentic and he's consistent, because that's what made me attracted more to him and say, because I was dating a few men at the same time because I wasn't committed to anyone, and so what made him stand out most was his consistency. He was consistent with the phone calls. He was consistent with, not just phone calls, wanting to go out on a date. He was consistent with that.
A lot of communication too.
Talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, we spoke a lot. I'm a big communicator. I say what's on my mind, and whether good or bad. But when we talked, or when we spoke, I had to make sure that she knew what was on my mind, at all time, and how I felt. So. That's not that in itself also, I'm not worried about, I'm a man, I ain't supposed to let you know what my feelings are. I had no problems with that. And her biggest word, she received that.
Yeah, absolutely.
She received that.
Okay, we have a question. How do you both handle conflict? How do you handle, I'm going to talk about how I handle conflict.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Okay, what's it say?
It says, so he got the dimples. He got the dimple basics, which many don't. The basics, girl, Shanda, you said that. Here's the basics. What did you pick up about the basics that he receives? But we're gonna, as you're typing that, Rashid, for me, how do I handle conflict? Both of us. One of the things I used to do back in the day, in other relationships, I would like, blah, 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 blah. In other words, I would say what was on my mind. I didn't think about what I said and how it hurt. Because one of the things that about words is that you can't take it back.
That's for sure.
You can't take it back. So what I do now is I get quiet. I get quiet, right? Because I'm like, I'm breathing. I'm like praying. Because I'm not going to allow my emotions to get the best out of me. And so that's what I do because we've had spats, but I mean, relationships are going to do what it do, but it's not in a version of disrespect.
Right.
For you?
Yeah, and so I mean,
Excuse me.
bless you.
Thank you. Allergies.
Just even like just recently you were going through a incident.
Oh yeah.
And then just like I said, from knowing her and learning more about her, I know like I give my advice, I give my opinion, based on whatever she's dealing with at the time. But you didn't want to discuss it at that time, and but I fell back until she was able to process what was going on as far as her that situation that she was dealing with.
Okay, but what talk about the past, like your own, how do you handle conflict?
Versus the past?
Yeah,
well, I mean, in the past, I used to be, whenever something happened as far as like a conflict, I just to react. You just immediately react with that feeling.
Right.
But
so what do you do now?
Now you have to take a deep breath. There's nothing wrong with taking a deep breath, and then, because like you said, once you say something, you can't take it back.
Right.
And a lot of times when you do take that deep breath, you end up avoiding saying the wrong thing, and you end up saying the right things at that time.
And he said you're emotionally intelligent because you said, good stuff, Rasheed, right? Mm-hmm. You said that you did not, you knew, so it was a situation and I was very like frustrated to a point of like, I wanted to be like, you never. But I did not. And so he wanted to help me at that moment to help soothe me during that situation. And I was like in my own box, and I didn't want him to come in. I allowed him to be present, but I didn't want to hear what he had to say or how he can help. So he immediately picked up on it and he got quiet.
I just, I let her, like I said, go through what she was going through. I was there, I was by her side, and even when she went to go address the situation, I was there by her side just to make sure that things didn't get out of hand. And,
it was about customer service situation.
But she handled it as very professionally and all that. But just like I said, I was just there to make sure. I know earlier I had offered my opinion and my advice, but she wasn't really here that. She wasn't ready to hear that at the time. She was just focused on whatever that customer service issue. And but it all worked out well. And then, after the smoke cleared, She said to me, "Oh, it's all bunched up. My stomach's not really this big. It is a 6-pack, but hey,
it's a 1-pack. He's trying. Okay.
But afterwards, she said, she said to me, she understands I was, that I was trying to help, and she appreciated the fact that I was there by her side.
Yes.
And I didn't try to force.
That's a big thing. It's the force.
And I didn't get upset by her not taking that advice at that time, so it worked out.
And then thank you, babe, for that. Okay, so consistency is being involved, of being available, involved, and the word of critical to us women. And of the basic communication is intimacy, and it's key. It's literally like having a leg to stand on. Okay, Shanda, that makes so much sense. Oh, you speaking some good stuff, girl. Mm-hmm. All right, so basically she said that you have the basics of being consistent, being, having communication, and then also being available, right? Like, and I think that's, really, because for me, the basics are being respectful, right? Being consistent, being, honest, babe, honest, and communicating.
Communication is big. And, communication is like just so big. And, you can't feel that, you can't hold it inside. You have to let the other person know what you're thinking.
Woo, that's big.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say I was like this all my life, but over time I've been, for quite a long time now. But I just had to, like I said, look at doing things the way I did things in the past, and try not to repeat them in the future. Because in every situation that I had early in life, maybe I played some part in not doing what I was supposed to do the right way. So you look at those, you learn from those experiences, And you know, like the young lady said earlier, the second time is normally like the better time, because you learn from those mistakes, or you personal development, you fix what you didn't do the right way or properly.
I'm gonna save this live, girl. I am. Thank you, Shanda. She said it's good. Thank you so much. Okay, so we we're gonna be doing this more often because we have a lot of dialogue. We talk a lot. Like we talk, we laugh. Oh, he's a comedian. And I just love to laugh. So and so we talk a lot. We laugh a lot.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I come with a package. I come with 2 kids. All right. And so my son is 17, my daughter's 14, teenagers. And so he is always like very respectful to my kids. Always. And he knows his place. Like he's not their father. So that's a whole conversation, a whole topic that we could talk about it next time about, how when you're dating someone, how does that work when you have the dynamics of having children, just all those different moving parts, and not come in like, what's that movie?
Which one?
No, what's the movie that my son always quotes?
Oh, Baby Boy.
Baby Boy. You can't come in like Baby Boy.
Baby Boy.
Right. You can't come in like Baby Boy when he came in with the, the underwears and stuff. He's like, I'm living here now, right? Yeah. So I think that's a big one. So that's definitely a conversation starter for next time, And how did you like doing this with me? Because
Yeah, it was good. When you asked me to do it, nothing's pre-scripted. This is all off the dome, as we say. Let me tell
you, he so wanted some cue cards. He's like,
look, I need some bullet points. I need something.
This ain't no presentation.
She said the topic's gonna be this. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And here I am.
Okay, and he did an awesome job. Good job, babe. First time first. You got to start somewhere. So with that said, babe, we good. Thank you so much, Shanda. Thank you, Rashid. And for those who are continuing to watch this on record, I'm telling you, just share this. We're not here saying that we are the experts when it comes to relationships, but we've been married before. We both have children. And of course, people want to know how old you are.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Do you want to tell them now, or do you want to say later?
I can tell them now.
Oh, you want to tell them? Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. How old are you?
56.
Woo! He's 56.
I'll be 57 November 9th.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's very youthful looking.
Yeah.
That when he told me his age, I was like, let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. I was like, okay, well, I want to drink what you drinking.
Let's see with a little bit more sleep and allergies.
Yeah. He's been.
See what that'll do.
Allergies. He's been battling allergies. So with that said, guys, I love you so much for engaging with us.
Yes.
And one thing's for sure is that as a mental health therapist expert, the emotional healer. That's my title. Like, people have always been saying, I feel emotionally whole. Like when I work with you and you support me. I love doing all of what I do, and I thought bringing him in would be an added plus.
Right.
Why? Because, we're not one-dimensional. When you said you got a great one, good brother. Look, he giving you 5.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. He said I was always a classy lady. May you both find peace, joy, and happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rashid. Thank you, Rashid. Love you. Yes. He's now Dr. Rashid Walker.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Nice.
He's a good brother. He has a great family. So with that said, guys, I just want to share a part of my life as I continue to build this kingdom, as we do what we do. And one of the things that I know for sure is, as a social media influencer, that I believe, as a social media influencer, is that we want to influence others to be the best version of themselves. And so as I often close, I often say, I want you to be what? I want you to be empowered for greatness, because without greatness, there's no you, and without greatness, what did I say? I want to be empowered for greatness, and without greatness, there's no you, and without you, there's no
me.
No greatness. He gets super comfortable. All right, guys, have a great one. We'll talk later. Bye. And how we close? Peace. See you guys later.